Hello and welcome to another Speedy Clark production. So Saturday morning today, weather's been pretty bad, very strong wind, very cold, heavy snow, sleet showers on and off. So I'm going to do a turbo trainer session, and what I'm doing at the moment is just doing a warm up. So just sitting at 195 watts, 95 RPM, warming up, heating up the engine. And then I'm going to go into doing a 10 mile time trial, and then I'm going to show you guys my actual power numbers. So as you'll have seen from my previous films, my performances have been sporadic. When I'm feeling good, I can deliver a really very good performance. However, because of other aspects of my lifestyle and things that I need to do, and also in relation, and I do have to kind of talk about it now, because obviously I'm getting a little bit older now, not old but a little bit older. My Wolf-Parkinson-White-Syndrome heart condition seems to be becoming more of a factor, so I have to manage my efforts. Although I can still ride the bike, still train, I just have to manage my efforts a bit more. So sometimes in key session days, I'm just not able to do them. And other times when I don't need to do a key session, I'm feeling really good and I can absolutely go for it. So I'm just going to have to try and manage that a bit better. And that's going to be quite difficult with my coach. But we have had some discussions, and we can move things and juggle them as long as I do the sessions. And hopefully I'll feel good and enough days of the week to be able to deliver that. So I am still going to do this. Some of you may think I'm crazy, but I have unfinished business in the cycling world, and I'm going to be brutally honest. With Wolf-Parkinson-White syndrome, it doesn't matter what you do, it still affects you the same way. So some people may think, you know, just rest, have an easy day. It still affects me the same way. Nothing triggers it. Nothing I do alters how it's working. It's just one of these things that either happens or it doesn't happen. And I've been very lucky since my diagnosis in August 2005. I haven't really had, apart from 3 occasions that I can remember, I haven't really had any significant issues. So from August 2005 till March 2019, I've only had to go to hospital 3 times, so that's not too bad. And again, people will be like, well, why are you cycling, why are you training? The training and the cycling doesn't affect it. So I can get a problem sitting on the couch doing nothing to the same problem of training. And the bizarre thing is, when I've got my heart rate high, so training for example, I've never actually had a single problem. So it seems to be when the heart rate is really very low, and I'm quite sedentary, it just seems to jump around. But the problem with that is it can leave me feeling fatigued. So then when I do come to do my training, although I can train, I maybe can't quite achieve the top end sessions that I'm required to do. However, zone 2 is absolutely fine. So I am quite blessed to be feeling quite good today. So I'm going to try and do a bit of a session. I have been quite restrictive with my training plan in conjunction with my coach as to showing what I can actually deliver. So hopefully, all being well, currently I feel good. I'm going to show you guys for my body weight and my condition as to what I can actually deliver on a good day. So stay tuned. Oh. Okay, so that was a 20-minute threshold FTP level. 1 second, camera. Apologies, steaming up. Okay, so the figures. 20 minutes, 312 watts average power. My body weight is actually slightly lighter today, so I weighed myself before the session, 61.5 kilograms. I did a 10-minute warm-up and then into the 20-minute time trial. I was hoping to get 10 miles, but I had the resistance quite high to get the watts, but I still wanted to keep a 90 RPM cadence. So it actually worked out to be 9.5 miles, average speed 28.1 miles an hour. But the average speed in the turbo isn't important. What's important is the watts. So 61.5 kilo, 312 watt average. Do the math. Power to weight ratio, very good. I am a bit wrecked now, so I'm going to cool down and then I'm just going to do a zone 2, zone 3 spinning session, alright? Okay, so that's 40 minutes zone 2 with a couple of little efforts just to kind of flush the legs after the FTP training session, time trial, whatever you want to call it, but high 20-minute effort. So now we will go look at the data of the 20-minute effort. Which is very good information, so let's go have a look. Hello, welcome back. So it is actually Sunday now, and reason being is I was super busy yesterday and had to go do a number of things, so I'm just opening Training Peaks now to go through the training plan of yesterday. Hi boy, Socks has just came into the room. Hello boy, are we going to say hello? On with the training, so I'm just opening Training Peaks and we will go through the session from yesterday. This is a continuation of the film from yesterday, as I have said. Today has actually been a rest day. I was supposed to go do the mountain bike for 3.5 hours today, but I decided not to because I absolutely emptied my tank yesterday. And I've actually achieved the training stress score that I was supposed to achieve this week. I'm a bit tired today, and I also had to take Boy, Socks, my dog, to the vets and do a number of things as well for a pre-op assessment because he's going to go for his castration. Yeah boy, sorry boy. So alright, so I'm just opening up Training Peaks here and we will have a look at the data. Alright, so I'm going to try not to muffle this up and go up my nose. Alright, so as you know, my body weight 61.5 kilos. The normalised power 312 watts. Intensity factor 1.18. Minimum heart rate 114 because I was warming up. Average heart rate 171. Maximum heart rate 180. My average cadence 90 RPM, which is pretty good. Maximum 100 RPM. Average speed 28.1. The speed in the turbo trainer isn't really important. It's more about the watts, the power. Maximum 31.6. But it was quite realistic in terms of the watts and potentially what I would expect to do in a 10-mile time trial. So my zone power, so I spent 16 minutes 17 seconds in zone 5, 281 to 320 watts, and I spent 3 minutes 27 seconds in zone 6, which is, whoa, really kicking in, 321 watts plus. If we go over to the heart rate, so my heart rate was actually pretty good. So I was in zone 5, zone 6 power, but zone 4 heart rate for 14 minutes 6 seconds and 2 minutes 7 seconds in zone 5 super threshold. As you can see here, the purple line, see that there? Purple line is my power. green is the speed, red is the BPM. Everything was like bang on, bang on. So look at that flow, very, very consistent. So that's a real good session, very consistent. I'm very happy with that performance. Very good, very, very good. So just turning the camera background there. So that is a bit of an insight into yesterday. Now there are people that can obviously produce a lot more power than that. However, I am exceptionally light. And if I'm being brutally honest, at my age now, almost 41 years old, it's a bit of an unknown as to where I could get to in terms of power. So we're at 312 watts currently. It is only the second week of March in 2019, so that is very, very, very good. I'm very happy with that. So we're on the right path, we're on the right track. The only thing I'm not happy with is my consistency. Sorry, I just need to let the dog out a second. On you go, Socks. There you go. Go on then, boy. So my consistency is very up and down at the moment. So in order for me to achieve those numbers yesterday, I had 40 hours where I hadn't ridden the bike, 2 days where I hadn't ridden the bike. The day on the Wednesday, so that this session was performed on Saturday yesterday. On the Wednesday, I did a 40-minute hard session, 5311 gearing, which is like the biggest gearing on the bike, 260 watts or something like that average. My cadence was only like 75 RPM, so it was like muscular endurance strength training, and then high cadence cool down at the end of that, and then the 2 full-on rest days, and then a good 10-minute warm-up spinning. And then boom, I just went straight into that 20-minute effort, or the time trial effort, and that's what I was able to do. So if I'm being honest, my previous power testings where I assess where I'm at, I think I've probably done them being quite fatigued. Not fully fatigued, but you know, I'll have done them with a bit more fatigue in the legs. This has been quite an easy week for me, to be brutally honest. So my consistency, as I said, I'm not happy with my consistency at the moment. I seem to either be absolutely fantastic or I'm like nothing in the tank, and today is a nothing in the tank day. I was going to go mountain biking, it was in the plan. I had to do some stuff this morning, so it was ultimately 1 o'clock before I could leave today, and I just was like, I just can't face it today. I felt a bit lethargic, lightheaded. I have been eating enough. I don't believe it's the diet, so we'll just see where it goes with that anyway. So yeah, pretty good, pretty good. So people often wonder how I'm able to do these things. So what I tend to do is, for example, Friday was a very stressful day for personal reasons. So there was some stuff going on Friday in my personal life, which was very, very stressful. So whenever I have situations like that, or any form of stress, or any form of, you know, news that might not be quite what I want, or, you know, not great news, for example, then I'll take that energy, I'll soak it in as a sponge, and then I will try and savour it and unleash it at specific times, and use that, essentially use it as fuel, like a stove, you know. By the way, on the grounds for a stove, see this here, top tip, be careful when you're chopping wood, it's very, very bouncy. I was chopping kindlers for my fire from the logs, and it jumped up and smacked me in the nose, so I was a bit lucky with that one, to be honest. So yeah, essentially I use this stuff like a sponge, but it doesn't always work, because sometimes you can hold on to the negative energy a little bit too long, and it manifests itself in other ways, which might not be great for some people. But I like to think I'm pretty good at controlling that, so you know, bad things tend not to happen too often with that. So I tend to use it more of an advantage as to a disadvantage. A lot of people become, when they get stressed out and the negative energy builds up, they tend to, you know, it tends to make them feel tired and fatigued, and they don't want to do anything and just crawl under a rock. Yeah, don't get me wrong, that can happen on occasion, but I try and use it and turn it into a positive. So a bit like hybrids, electric cars, you know, using your braking to regenerate the battery in the engine, that's essentially what I try to do with it. So that's just my little technique. So I hope you've enjoyed the film and an insight into what I can actually do on a good day. As I say, 312 watts average functional threshold power for the 20-minute effort, or time trial as I like to call it, because I wasn't really treating it as an FTP. My average heart rate was 171. I could go higher, I went pretty deep yesterday, pretty deep, but I was still able to do a mid-zone 2 40-minute ride with a couple of efforts post 20-minute effort, 20-minute time trial, or 20-minute FTP test, however you want to call it, but 20 minutes pretty hard anyway, consistently. So yeah, so you know, there might be a little bit more there, a little bit more in there, I think, a little bit more to come out. So could we get to 325 watts? I would like to think so. Could we get to 330? Ooh, 330 would be pretty deep. Would be deep. Definitely a sick bucket required to get to 330 for myself at 61.5 to 62 kilos. I would say definitely a sick bucket required. So yeah, but once again, thank you very much for watching. Every day, normal guy, working full-time, family, and still with a heart condition, and still being competitive at sport in terms of cycling. Alright, thank you. Cheers.